What was your first impression of his style and just guys of his stature breaking into the business and doing what they do?
I don't know necessarily that I looked at it and said, "Oh, hey, this is what the business is going to turn into," because it still hasn't. However, I think that their skill and the presentation of how they worked and what they could do, you know, you go back and you look at guys that were not the biggest guys in the business that were able to take an audience and captivate them. And I always point to the Rock and Roll Express, number one, because the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, came into the Mid-South territory run by Bill Watts in the early 80s, which was a giant man territory. I mean, everybody was huge. They were able to captivate, they were able to get over, and they were able to introduce that audience to a completely different style and made people believe. And the first thing that they did that I remember with Ricky and Robert was they had them go over Nikolai Volkov and Crusher Khrushchev, Barry Darso, who were huge, 300 plus pounds. And the Rock and Roll Express brought in its tag team experts, and they explained it because of their style, because of their tag team strategy of tagging in and out and how they work together as a team, that they were able to overcome. And I think that when you go back to guys like Sean Waltman as the Lightning Kid and Jerry Lynn, the way that they worked with one another, you could believe it when they were working with each other. Then when they were working with someone larger than them, they used that same speed and they used the same technique to overcome a larger opponent. And as long as you could make it believable. But if they're in there doing the same thing the big guys are doing, it does not work. And I think that that was kind of what made Sean and to another degree, Jerry Lynn stand out.